In the previous episode of Sailing Wapiti, we crossed the Caribbean Sea, our longest sail yet, have a blast of a time in Jamaica, and have crew join us for the next crossing, from Jamaica to Cuba.
There we have Cuba!
In this episode, we arrive in Cuba and explore this amazing country with friends from home, we celebrate Christmas, and we seek shelter from a storm in the mangroves.
On the approach, we see many small fishing boats in the shipping lane, and a huge tanker showing them no mercy on its way out. Glad we stay well clear of its path.
We had heard rumors that the check-in process in Cuba was very bureaucratic, so we braced ourselves for a long process. It did take a few hours, of which they interrogated Helena for at least 2. She did, however, charm them into letting us in, and we were able to hit town for a last night with bread and rice with some real Cuban live music and dancing, which also meant a quick brush up on our dance moves from Brad. Brad and Bryce leave for Havana the next day to fly home for Christmas, and we plan to join them and friends arriving from Norway and Havana a day later. But first we spend a day exploring beautiful Cienfuegos. The city is known as the Pearl of the South and sits 250 kilometers south of Havana. The city lies perfectly protected in a huge enclosed bay, making it a natural harbor with a very nautical touch. As we start preparing for a trip to Havana, we get concerning news from the port captain. There's a big storm coming and the marina is closing down. So the storm's coming and all the boats are moving. Everyone's going to the hurricane hole over there. And I think we'll go with them.
Why aren't we in Havana right now?
There's some weather coming, and we're about to leave. We're not told, but they say they recommend us to go to the hurricane hole. And all the chartering boats are all gone to the hurricane hole.
The wind is picking up. We have 26 knots of wind. Say hi!
Tying up in the mangroves was a first for us, but luckily some of the people working for the charter boats helped us out. We showed our gratitude by handing over some Jamaican beers, some Norwegian chocolate, and USB memory sticks, which for some reason are super popular in Cuba. The big storm that was forecasted took a turn towards north and never really hit us, and 2 days later the marina opened again. The charter guys were having such a good time, they stayed another night to finish up the run, but we returned to Cienfuegos and tried to get in contact with our friends in Havana. They understood our radio silence and quickly found their way to Cienfuegos to meet us.
Our good friends Dani, Madeleine, Marta and Ariane had flown all the way from Norway to spend Christmas with us, and we were stoked to hang out with them and to experience Cuba together. They were the first of our friends to come visit, and we were really eager to show them our new sailing life. But first, to show them around Cienfuegos. Det är litt mer naturlig.
Jeg fikk litt poeng for det da.
Fikk du 15
Hur många kubbar fick du för det här?
Ja, jag fick
The next day, we took Wapiti out on the harbor and sailed towards Trinidad, which is a day sail away along the coast. We had strong winds and a fast sail, which for most of us was fun, but for others also meant some seasickness. We tucked Wapiti into a marina 10 minutes away from Trinidad, where we had decided to spend Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Trinidad is another World Heritage city with beautiful, colorful old buildings and a bustling life. We also took a car ride to explore one of the hiking trails outside town. It was a nice walk over bridges and past wild pigs, and ended up in a refreshing swim.
Any second now, guys.
There was an official Wapiti Christmas lighting ceremony, and we celebrated with Christmas dinner.
Filmer du? Fattig jente.
Later, we held a Christmas concert with Norwegian songs in a bar. They were very impressed.
After spending a few days ashore, we were again longing for more sun, swimming and beaches. And just a day sail away from Trinidad is Cayo Largo, one of Cuba's most pristine areas, known for the best beaches in the whole country.
Cruising in Cuba is strictly regulated, and it can be a hassle to deal with authorities that barely know any English and are scared of their own government. You're only allowed to sail places where you can officially check in, and they're terrified that you will help Cubans flee the country. We also had to pay every night to stay at anchor, even for the nights we spent in the mangroves. And our daily rate exceeds a monthly salary for a Cuban orthopedic surgeon. But when you get to places like this, it's all worth it.
The whole area was really beautiful, and the color of the sea was incredible. There was even a bowling alley which served up fresh pina coladas, so we were sorted.
Ja, det är verkligen så full att han ger. Yes. Är det sant det va?
We had an awesome time hanging out in Cayo Largo, and we also took the opportunity to beach Wapiti on a deserted island and claim it as ours for New Year's.
Der er vi på!
Officially called Donnyland.
Donnyland! Woo! Nå må vi få jobbe!
After many great days together, our friend's holiday was nearing an end and we had to start sailing back towards the mainland. Since our planned Havana trip had fallen through earlier, we decided to join them on their return to Havana.
Cuba has been an incredible place to visit. The scenery is stunning, the people are friendly, and their culture is unique. However, behind the glamour of old cars, cheap rum, and salsa dancing hides an everyday struggle for the average Cuban.
All might seem well on the surface, but when taking a closer look, the system is not in great shape. Driving around Havana, we mostly drive through districts where buildings are falling down and people are waiting in huge lines for the daily ration of bread and rice. Miami is only a day sail away in distance, but decades away in time.
To sum up, we are really glad we visited this incredible place. One of the reasons for sailing on this adventure is to see and experience new and different places and cultures. Cuba was definitely different. In the next episode of Sailing Wapiti, we spend a lot of time underwater as we explore the wonders of the Cayman Islands. But of course, we also run into some problems.